Jace Denman here with head coach Tim Bergstraser of your MSU Dragon men's basketball team. Coach, 3 games in 5 days. You made it through it. You got a win. You had a couple learning lessons. What do you take away from this stretch of 5 days with 3 games?
Well, I was very curious to see how that was going to go, especially be on the road. I believe that the Winona-Mankato weekend, that was going to be our toughest road trip of the year when you're looking at the schedule overall coming into the year. Winona's been battling some injuries, and then they got a lot of those guys back. We're battling our injuries, unfortunately, too, but, again, nobody has excuses. So we had a nice little lead there, and then we've been struggling a little bit this year to contain those leads, and Winona beat a good basketball team. They got some really good guys that know how to score, and they came right back at us, and then they kind of kept that lead the whole game. And I just didn't think we didn't execute our system on both sides of the ball too well. I think we just did it at spurts, and we got to get better at that. And then at Mankato, you guys were there. That was an incredible atmosphere. If you're a spectator, that was just a fun basketball game to watch. And we had a nice little lead to start the game, started getting away from things a little bit, and again, that's just basketball. Sometimes you want your guys to be aggressive. Then their players started making some tough shots, and then, they get up 16 points on us, and that just showed the fight of our guys. Obviously, Jakir played out of his mind in that little stretch, too, and hit some tough shots along with the other guys around him. So, it was a heck of a basketball game. I couldn't knock our guys' fight at all. So I think coming through the overall weekend, I know that our guys are never going to give up. They're going to continue to fight no matter what the score is going to be at the end. And hopefully we're always winning those games. But that's just the type of guys we have in the program. And then I think against Crookston, our guys really bought into the game plan, both sides of the ball. So I think they just understood that we got to try to do it for 40 minutes, which is not easy, like we said many times. So for them to do that on Friday, Saturday, and then buy into it for 40 on Tuesday, that was a good deal for me as a coach to see. And now it's just more so, hey guys, this stuff works, so let's try to do it more and more.
Well, when you look at let's first start with the weekend. Then you had leads in Winona, in Mankato. The other team caught up, and it's been in the first half. You've gone into, I think, probably not counting the Crookston game, I think it was maybe 3 or 4 games in a row, or 3 out of 4 games that you had a lead, went into the half, tied up, and then whatever happened in the second half happened. Winona got incredibly hot from the field. Mankato was a back and forth game, each team kind of making some runs. So when you look at those first halves and you have an 8-10 point lead and you go to the halftime tied, is there something in that sequence that you can obviously discuss at halftime and say, look, we're getting away from the system here, we need to do X, Y, and Z, and it's correctable into the second half, or is it just teams are just simply getting hot at the right time?
I think it's a bit of both, to be honest, because, there is times, and we'll watch the film, hey, look, we were doing this for a good 10 minutes, and we just completely threw it away. And at the same time, we ran into a buzzsaw at Winona. They put
shot 66% in the second half at one point.
There's a lot of times there's a 10-minute segment in that second half, everything they threw up, it just seemed to go in, and our guys kept looking at me, and I was just shrugging my shoulders, what? I thought it was good defense, And sometimes offense is just better, and that's just how it is sometimes in this league. And Dylan, he's been having a great year. He had a great weekend in general, so he's really starting to get hot at the right time for their team. But yeah, it's like I keep telling our guys again, it's a bad pattern right now, having these leads and then going into halftime or up 2 or down 2 or tied. But again, everybody has good basketball players. They're going to make adjustments. They're not always going to do the same exact thing. So I'm just trying to get in these guys' mind, how can we be a team to control the games?
Right.
That's what's going to be big for our program right now. If we get a lead, let's try to control that lead the best way as possible and stick to what we're doing.
When you look at these last 3 games, then you were yet another starter down without Jameer Price, who was out with an injury. Obviously, like I said, hot shooting from Winona. Mankato was just a fantastic game, fantastic to be a part of it as a broadcast team down there. And then obviously we got to be here as fans then on Tuesday and watch you guys play. But what does it say about this team to make it through the weekend specifically, where you're really running a 7-man rotation, and then on Tuesday when things kind of were going your way, you're able to get a guy like Will Kinsey out there, get some playing minutes. But just another solid effort from these guys, down a couple guys right now, specifically a couple starters.
Yeah, and it's how the term the next man up, and we told our guys that, and you just got to be ready to play. And just me as a coach, we've always tried to help them along the way, whether they're getting a lot of minutes or not. But it's hey, here's what your role is for this program, what we think is going to help our team. And if you buy into that and defend and rebound, I like how we're going to be. I think we're going to be able to compete still. So that's what our guys know. It stinks when a guy like Gabe goes out, Jameer with a concussion. That's unfortunate, but it's we got to figure something out because again, the people we play, they're not going to care.
No,
so
exactly.
we got to make necessary adjustments and do what we can to try to win a basketball game. And if that, Will Kinsey coming in on Tuesday, I mean, he was ready to go. Yeah. I think when I called his name, he kind of did like a double take, and I was like, yeah, let's go, man. And he didn't miss a beat. I mean, he's a really good defender. I was really happy to see him hit that three because I think he is a really good catch-and-shoot three-point shooter as well, and you just know what kind of effort you're going to get out of him. But it was great for guys like Eddie and Owen who have been playing a little more limited minutes, and now they're getting a lot more minutes, and those are guys that we do trust. I mean, even like Jennison moving in as a starter, I mean, it helps us be bigger sometimes. So it's as a coach, it kind of is like, hey, this is what you got, and then just you got to adjust things accordingly.
Exactly. Last thing, Tuesday we saw Mankato after the big win against you guys, even though you were shorthanded, they go to Duluth, they struggle, they get beat in Duluth. You guys have to go to another tough place to play this week. You got to go up to Bemidji, a team you had a tough battle with here at Nemzik. So what can you tell us about this matchup this weekend against Bemidji State?
Well, at Bemidji is never easy. I mean, anywhere in this league is never easy, but it's a tough environment. When you walk in there, it's like you're stepping into a cage, just like a closed box, and they got a good fan base there. It'll be nice and loud, and they got two really good big guys. With Sutherland, I mean, he's averaging a double-double. Albrecht, he's averaging a double-double. They're both mobile and athletic, and, I mean, they're skilled. So I think we can match up with them, with guys like Jenny and Dane, and, we'll see how that goes. But they're talented, and they got a lot of really good shooters around them. So we're just going to have to be smart in our game plan. I think it'll be a simple one. It's more so just can we execute that.
There you go. All right, Coach, well, thank you for a minute of your time. Obviously, best of luck on Saturday as always. We'll be there covering you live on AM 1100 The Flag. So we will talk to you and see you on Saturday. Best of luck once again, and we'll talk to you soon, all right?
Thank you.
All right, this is Jace Denman for Flag Family Media. We'll talk to you again soon.